I am a real human being and I have some really sad thoughts sometimes. What is up, Sara Squad? Welcome back to my channel, Lose Weight Sara, where I'm on a mission to lose 100 pounds my way. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I have been sharing my weight loss journey for the last 2 years or so. I've had lots of ups and downs, but I will always keep it real with you. And I hope that you'll consider subscribing to the channel because that really helps me a lot, helps the channel, and helps me reach more people who maybe are feeling a little bit alone while they're trying to lose a significant amount of weight. Big thank you to all my returning subscribers as well. I really appreciate you cheering me on and keeping me in check sometimes. I couldn't do it without you, so big thank you. I also want to give a big thank you to some of the folks who gave me a super thanks. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but YouTube channels now have this little super thanks button. It's a little heart, and you can kind of tip or say thank you to your favorite YouTubers. A really big thank you to those of you who were so sweet and gave me a super thanks. I want to shout you out, and I will always do this moving forward. If you feel so compelled by one of my videos that you would consider giving me money out of your own pocket, I'm going to shout you out. So big thanks to Michelle C, to Amanda the Random, and my good friend Miss E. Thank you very much. If I missed your super thanks, please let me know. I will go back and look for that, and I will shout you out in the next video. Thank you. So this week was a pretty normal week as far as time in my weight loss journey goes. I was able to exercise, I think 5 days this week. One of those workouts though was not great, and I'm gonna talk about that here in a minute. But I went and had kind of a networking breakfast with one of my former colleagues. It was great catching up with them, and I took a little time that morning, since I didn't have a real heavy work schedule, to walk around the downtown Broken Arrow area. It's really pretty, and it was just enough time before it started getting really hot. So I just walked around a little bit. So it was really nice getting to enjoy the morning, getting a kind of more casual morning stroll in. It definitely helped my step count for that day, but it just was too hot to spend a whole lot of time. That actually brings me to what I want to talk about with you guys today, and that is knowing your limits. Over the last couple of weeks, I've told you guys about the extreme heat that we are experiencing here in Oklahoma. It's been anywhere from 105 to 110 degrees any given day, and we've got maybe less than an inch of rain in the last month. It's just horrible. So normally what I try to do is wake up early and get my workouts in before the sun comes up and starts just heating everything up like crazy. But this week I overslept on Thursday. It was supposed to be one of the days where I go out to the track and do my laps, and I overslept by like an hour. So there was no way for me to squeeze that workout in the morning. So I said, you know what? I don't have quite the schedule that I've had over the last couple weeks at work. I can just squeeze it in on my lunch break, and that will be fine. Spoiler alert, it was not fine at all. I put on my workout clothes and got ready to go out, had my water bottle filled, music on, all that stuff. And I'm telling you guys, as soon as I walked out the front door, I pretty much immediately regretted my decision. It was so hot. I think it was something like 98 degrees at the time. Bugs everywhere. And my workout really did suffer for it. I didn't get in as many laps as I would have liked. I struggled through most of the laps that I was running, and I just overall felt crappy and uncomfortable, and I hated literally every single second of that workout. When I got back from that workout, I'm literally pouring sweat, just soaked. It's disgusting. And I still had to push through the rest of my work day like that. Normally, exercise gets me pumped up for the day. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I accomplished something. But because I was trying to push through the extreme heat and just force myself to get it done outside and do what I said I was going to do, my mental health really suffered. I was beating myself up for not doing as well. I was mad at myself for sleeping in too late. I just caused a spiral that I didn't feel before I did the workout. And we always see those motivational quotes and Instagram posts where it's like,
just push through the tough days. Don't make excuses for yourself.
There's a caveat there. And that is, if you're going to be putting yourself in potential danger, you need to stop and make a smart decision and know your limits. Not only did I put myself at risk for like a heat stroke, but I could have had an injury too because my head was not 100% focused on the workout and doing the run. I chose to push through it, and I really shouldn't have. I should have recognized that this is a limit. Running in almost 100-degree weather was probably one of the worst choices I could make. What I really should have done was alternatively found a YouTube video or something to work out indoors in the air conditioning where I wasn't potentially putting myself at risk. I think it's just really important, right, that we recognize our limits, especially for those of us that have a significant amount of weight to lose. It can be really upsetting sometimes to recognize like, hey, I'm not able to do this, but there's also something positive to be seen from knowing your limitations, and that's it's something to work towards. One thing that I really enjoy, I like seeing like workouts where people jump around a lot, but I just know physically, again, as a 250-ish pound person, jumping around and jumping up and down on boxes and things like that is really not a smart or healthy decision to make. I could easily get injured, and an injury at this stage in my weight loss journey would be absolutely devastating. But that being said, I know that eventually, once I lose some weight, I'll be able to do those workouts. I'll be able to challenge myself in that way. But right now, I have to understand that I just have some limitations due to my size, and I have to keep myself safe and out of harm's way. Know your limitations and don't be afraid to alter your plan if it's gonna keep you safe, or, you know, just even if you just mentally need to, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Stay consistent, do your exercises, keep on your workout schedule, but if you have to adjust it in a way that's going to keep you safe and injury free. I think I ended up being really lucky. When I got home, I didn't feel great. I was pouring sweat. It was disgusting, but I did cool off pretty quickly, and I just kind of chugged through the rest of the day. Wasn't a great experience, but boy, oh boy, was it a freaking learning lesson. All right, so let's get to this week's weigh-in. Now, last week was kind of a rough week for me. Yeah, I knew it was going to be, but I did have a fairly significant gain, and my weigh-in last week was 251.6 pounds. This week, my weigh-in was 248. That is a loss of 3.6 pounds, which is almost all of the weight that I had gained last week. I am really happy with my results this week, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the fluctuation thing just really flippin' frustrated me. I don't normally let it get to me. I even talked about this last week, right? Fluctuations are totally normal. They happen to everybody, but I feel like they happen to me a lot. I don't know if it's just me lately. You know, I'll have two like really good weeks, and then the next week I just gain a bunch back. And I feel like I should be so much further along at this point. But there's only one person to blame, and that's me and the choices that I make. I will never blame external sources for the decisions that I make. I very often make decisions that are not aligned with my weight loss goals, and I need to stop doing that. And the struggle with BED is that sometimes I just do it anyway, whether I in here say, no, Sarah, don't do that, or not. So it's going to be a long battle. And I was just thinking a lot, and this, you guys know I try to keep it pretty positive around here. I think that's really important, but I am a real human being and I have some really sad thoughts sometimes. And one thing that's just been on my mind lately is I wish so much that I could get the VSG procedure and just use that as a tool to really aid me in significantly reducing my weight. And I know it's not a be all end all and it's not going to solve all my problems, but there's a reason my doctors have been recommending it for so many years. It just sucks. I can't seem to get on an employer-sponsored insurance plan that covers it, and I don't understand why. So if you've ever gone through that experience, I know I have a lot of friends here that have had VSG, which is vertical sleeve gastrectomy. If you guys don't know, it's a bariatric surgery. It's actually why I started my channel. I was pursuing it. I couldn't get financing, so I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but that was why I originally started my channel. I was going to kind of document the process and go through it, and I was hopefully going to have it, but it just didn't work out. So if you've ever experienced where, your insurance wouldn't cover something, or like blatantly just said it didn't cover something, like what did you do? I would love to hear from you. Please, you don't have to comment below. I feel like that's kind of personal, but if you could reach out to me either on Instagram or Facebook, I'm in both places. I would just love to chat through some of that with you and find out what you did, because it's still something that in the back of my mind I would like to do. I think it would just help me long term. I just don't know how to come up with the out-of-pocket expense, which if you guys don't know, it's like $15,000 to $20,000. It's a lot of money. Anyway, like I said, I usually like to keep it more positive around here, but I'm a person, a real person behind the camera, and I have real thoughts. And if you think that I am not frustrated with myself, if I'm just kind of willy-nilly going about this, then you're wrong. I do beat myself up from time to time. I try not to, but it's really hard. So for the question of the week, I want to know if you have ever recognized a limitation and what you did about it. If you've got a story to tell where sometimes you recognize where it was not going to be the best decision to push through, leave me a comment below, tell me your story, and until next time, I'll see you real soon.